slap at the base. You slap at the base. You slap at the base. All right, we're on YouTube now. And here's a fun fact. We just completed, right, 1,176 trades in a row now on earnings reports around VWAP for profitability. Hi. I might not look like it, and I'm a disheveled mess. I'm coming out of whatever this sickness is right now. Still not 100%. I was at 87 yesterday. Now I'm back to around 75. You got a blank screen? Really? On YouTube or on the site? You guys see the screen? Yeah. What's up, y'all? Actually, NAVN is kicking in. I don't really normally day trade the stock, but you know what? Why not? It worked yesterday. Actually, it's been working the last couple of days. NAVN. Nani. You know what? I'll buy more. Every day I bought more every day for the last couple of days. I'm gonna buy more here. Screw it. I'm in. NAVN. It's about to go green. You know what stocks do when they go green, right? They tend to go higher. NAVN. So let me gather my thoughts for a second. It's been a pretty good morning. And I've been talking about this trade that's been working for us for quite some time. Here comes some NAVN buyers. Just had a little flurry buying. We need 1806 bid. And then maybe we get that again. I'm a big fan of what I did here on this trade, actually, because normally I'm not a dollar cost averager into losing positions, but I got into this IPO NAVN, and what happened was it never really opened up. And you guys see where I'm buying it, right? You got a 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. The trade works a lot. Not a very high volume stock. That's why I don't really day trade it too much. But the last couple of weeks I've been trading it because of the longer term chart. And that was kind of the theme from today. We were trying to talk about the differences between day trading, swing trading, and investing. You know, I try to do all of it at the same time, and your head's going to explode because you have to choose what you want to do. And sometimes your day trade kind of becomes a swing trade, which then becomes an investment. If you're doing it the right way, your day trade, for instance, well, let me elaborate on this trade. I've been in it since the IPO day. I didn't even know I owned it because I bought it through a company called Public and uh, Robinhood. Now they do IPOs, which is kind of nice. They you put in for the IPO, and they give you some. Sometimes you get 200-300 shares. Sometimes I got 500 shares of Figure. That worked out pretty well. I got Clar, so I was like, all right, I'll try it again. And I put in for 1,000 shares at NAV, and I didn't get a full 1,000 shares, luckily. And 3 days later, or maybe 4 days later, I checked my account and I saw the stock in there. I'm like, what the hell is this? I didn't even realize I owned it, right? And what a terrible IPO. It opened up below the IPO price. I sent a strongly worded email to Public. I'm like, thanks for this. I appreciate you giving me some garbage stock. And like, well, we didn't know it was going to open up below that. Yeah, whatever. So I sat there and I was like, all right, let's see what this thing's all about. And I just figured I was a bag holder. I bought a little bit more here on the pivot. And then I really was disappointed that it rolled back over. I should have sold it here. And then it came out with earnings. So I was like, oh man, now I got to sit through an earnings report. And the earnings report, on the surface, it actually sounded like a good report. And the stock got hammered again. But then intraday, it did the faux show bro. And I was like, oh, that's a positive thing. I would normally buy it. So I was like, all right, I'll buy a little bit more here. But then when it turned and broke the earnings report high candle, I bought more, a lot more. And it retraced back to what is now the yearly or its lifetime VWAP, which is nice. And I was thinking about selling it, but I was saying, you know what? I held the pain. Maybe we're onto something. And then it consolidated above that upper level, rallied, and then came back to test it, and then broke back above its lifetime VWAP. So I bought more, and here we are. So now it's gone from some worthless garbage IPO, and the reason I was talking about this was that that's the faux show bro. So when you learn about these chart patterns that we trade intraday, right? Fake them out, shake them out, fake them out, shake them out, VWAP break. It works on all time frames, right? So when you see that's a capitulation, fake them out, shake them out, and then it breaks back above the shakeout area. And now hopefully this is a true breakout. And again, it's a pretty damn good move already. This is $13 stock trading at 18 bucks. Awesome. But now when I reanalyze this, I'm like, you know what? I held the pain. Let's make the gain. Because going back to a couple of the IPOs that I've done very well on was ARM, same kind of thing. This really wasn't the greatest stock to I mean, it started out pretty good. If you guys remember ARM, popular, everybody knows it now. It had a couple of days and then it got trashed. And then it did the faux show and the bro. And then it consolidated at the upper level. And I was like, I think we got a winner here. And obviously we did. Same thing with, what was the other one, Sid? ARM and there's another semi. ARM, something else with an A. It was the same exact trade. I forgot what it was now. Wait for it. A-Lab. Same scenario, right? IPO, 1 or 2 days, people got excited, it got trashed, fake them out, shake them out, back above that breakdown area, stock went from 65 bucks to 269. So the pattern that we trade, fake them out, shake them out, it transcends all time and space. It works on every time frame. And that's why intraday, if you find those fake them out, shake them outs, like today, APLD on earnings, when you fake them out, shake them out, fake them out, shake them out, VWAP break on an earnings report, you tend to get paid. And what was nice about this APLD trade was if you missed the first one, you got to fake them out, shake them out, VWAP break. You got paid a little bit. Yeah, you got stopped out, but that was a decent win. And then here's another one. Fake them out, shake them out, VWAP break, got paid. Yeah, didn't follow through as much as you wanted. You had to get stopped out. But this was just a microcosm of how to trade. And then let's say you're just sitting there going, man, I really wish I would have bought this one here and here and here. It came back to our original price, to the exact price, what I call the rigging of the market. Fake them out, shake them out, VWAP break. Now, again, instead of waiting for the VWAP break, the more you see this move work, right, you're not going to wait for the VWAP break anymore. The sound's not working. Fa, fa, fo, high. Fake them out, shake them out, VWAP break. So instead of waiting for the VWAP break, which is confirmation of the foes and the shows, why not buy the show part? So it breaks down from here, shakes out to there. I just bought some more NAVN. Thank you very much. I just bought more 1788. Gimme. They just hit my bid. I just bought some more NAVN. No. What? So instead of waiting for the VWAP break, which in this case got paid again, inevitably you see it's chop, but this is how you navigate the chop. The rookie trader is just getting his ass chopped up in this name. We are just taking quick profits. So, but not, this was a pretty damn good trade, because let's say you were sitting here and you're waiting. All right, Kenny, man, this stock sucks. Wait for it. And it came all the way back down to the 32.22. My original, so my entry was 32.42. It broke from 31.22. I bought it into this candle right there. Joined in on that. And I don't normally like that, but again, I like shorting stocks that are gapped up on earnings generally, unless you're faking them out and shaking them out and VWAP break. I'm not going to be on the other side of a faux show bro, right? My default is to look for stocks that are gapped up to sell them unless they faux show and bro. So patience, as you've read, is very important when you're trading. So APLD's in play, and the faux show bros work. So instead of waiting for the VWAP break, and yeah, look, that's 33.44 got you 34.44. That's $1,000 trade. Typical day trader, what are you doing? You're buying 1,000 shares? Generally, $35 stock, I rock 1,000 shares. Well, maybe even 600 shares. You made yourself some decent money. We're not going to talk about sizing right now. We're just talking about market mechanics. Right? So instead of waiting for that VWAP break, why not buy it here? Because you're identifying the risk here, right? And the VWAP, that prior day VWAP, is your second stop. So let's say it doesn't faux show. Well, you got the fake out, shake out. Let's say you didn't get this candle to get going and it rolls. You just sell it here for flat, and the rest is your loss right there. But you're clearly identifying the trade, right? You're clearly identifying the trade where as a pessimistic trader, if you will, I prepare to lose first, and then I enjoy the trade if it starts to work. Set myself up for a small loss, and then work my order as a winning trade by selling at VWAP, selling at the level where it got to earlier, and then hoping for more here, as we've just coined a new phrase today. What was it again? Hold the rest and hope for the best. Because here you're not thinking it's about to roll over again. Here we finally cleared the hurdle of the double top. Here I'm thinking definitely going back to 35, yet it rolled over again. Sell it. And that was that trade. So now there was only one other stock. I mean, there was plenty of stocks to choose from today because space, rockets, robots, quantum, AI, chips, nuclear, and silver is where our focus is every day, and there's plenty going around. But the only other stock that reported earnings was STZ. Dang. So now, if you guys have been paying attention, I know some of you guys have been with me for years. We are now looking at 1,174 profitable trades brought to you by VWAP, Faux Show Bro, Finger of God on earnings reports. And the trade continues to pay, and continues to pay. So why not stay focused on these trades whilst we have all this other lovely stuff going on in the USARs and the UUUs and the UMAX, and I hope you guys are in the drone stocks with me. Shimon, V-Wave, I gave it to you guys, 10 different times back in 750.10. Got us up to 1250 again today on the V-Wave. You guys know about Jedi, Jedi. You guys know about the drones, DRNZ. I own this one. I'm not usually the biggest swing trader, but when the market's handing you money, I want to take some. And right now, swing trading is where it's at. Bull market, baby. Right? Now, the question remains, and this was the conversation we had, what's the difference between a swing trade and an investment? Well, my opinion, the swing trader tries to stay in the trend of the stock, and then as soon as it breaks trend, that's the end of the swing trade. The investor stays in it because he believes in the company, and I would guess some sort of technical analysis. So that's where I'm at on a couple of these names. This NAVN, it became a swing. Well, it was a bad trade. It started because I didn't even know I owned it. Then it became the swing trade, and now it became the investment. And I believe now that we're onto something, and I'm hoping and wishing and praying. And I believe, right, because of the price action over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, this is now 3 weeks now, the earnings report was true capitulation. And that is very, very bullish that it came out with the earnings and they capitulated, and we've been rallying since earnings. And this orange line is lifetime VWAP. So staying above lifetime VWAP, super bullish. Super bullish. So now that we're about, now that we got above the triple top, which was yesterday, consolidating at the triple top, that's why I'm accumulating. And, I plan to get a couple thousand, maybe, 3,000 or 4,000 shares of this thing. Because if it turns out to be the IPO it was a pretty hyped up IPO at one point, if I'm right, and this becomes your classic IPO, we go back to IPO rules. If stock break IPO high, go much higher. And in the market we're in 2025/2026, it'll break the IPO price and probably double, which is the part that's insane, but that's the market we're in right now. Stock break new high, it go up 100%. That's not, again, I'm still so old that I remember when a stock would go up 8%, that would be for the year. Now we have stocks that are doubling and tripling and quadrupling. So I'm assuming that if we got the 1750, now we get to the 20. If we get 20, we get 2275. And whatever you're doing, if you see this stock breaking 2210, 2275, buy it. Because that'll be an IPO high break in a runaway bull market. And all the people that decided, oh man, blah, 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 all that negativity, everybody will come running back in. And that's when we're looking at this stock, hopefully at 25 bucks. And then 25 gets us 2750. 2750 gets you 30. And hopefully this becomes the real stock that, everybody was talking about before the IPO. So it's been an interesting play so far. And yeah, and yesterday it was a pretty good day trade. Today I got my foe, I got my show, I got my VWAP break, and now we're hoping for it to get back over the orange line, recapture the highs from the pre-market, and then if we can break highs from yesterday, we should be off to 1975, which would be very nice. But let's go back to the STZ, right? So STZ, now it is 1,174 trades in a row, just stalking these trades, right? So this one is my default, right? The default of my trading is to look to short stocks that are gapped up. And it was nice because it was gapped up and it kept going. I didn't buy it and it kept going. I didn't buy it and it kept going. And I was like, all right, now that it's rallied and rallied and rallied, now I'm gonna stalk it for the profit taking to ensue, right? And this one you had your classic head, shoulder, right? Test the shoulder, and then it broke the VWAP, short it. And with every trade, knowing what you're doing is the battle, right? So if you're shorting the rollover VWAP break, your stops are the shoulders themselves right there. So that's 150 and a 25, about 150 and a quarter, whatever it was. You're shorting it here at 148.75, $150 stock. You should be expecting to risk at least 250. If not some more. I usually use scattered stops, the tops of the candles from where it came and the high of the day. So 1 stop, 2 stop, 3 stop, go. But you didn't have to worry about that because as soon as it broke VWAP, it tanked. And then here was the interesting moment where it tried to rally back. And again, if you were short, you were covering on the way back up. But if you used VWAP as your last line of defense, you stayed in the position and then inevitably blue line to orange line. Not just near it, not a moving average, the VWAP itself to the penny, VWAP break to prior day VWAP. And there is a lovely trade. And that's why now you could take some of this money, and the way I trade is I take the high quality trades, and if I want to own some NAVN, I buy it with the STZ money, with the APLD money. And again, if you're in APLD, the 7th time this stock has been a winner on the long side, congratulations. If you bought it just now, again, please, for the love of God, trade stocks that report earnings that are trading around VWAP. It is, I Been doing this my whole life, my friends. I've never seen a trade that cooperates this often. Does it help that we're in a bullish market that never goes down? Sure. But it works. It does work on every time frame. It works. It works. It works. Continues to work. And as my father used to say to me, stop telling people about this trade that works, because my dad's old school and he believes in the crowded trade. What does that mean? Usually, when everybody's into something, that ruins the trade. It's called the crowded trade. But that's based on a whole different set of parameters. That's like joining in on a frenzied stock, a fad stock. This trade works better when more people are using it because it's volume based and we're algorithmic. So all we're doing is joining in on algorithmic moments that the stock is providing you. So if each time it finds love and finds love and finds love and finds love and still keeps doing that trade, why not keep doing it? And if you're buying it, if you're buying it, here it is. That's a $33.50 stock that just went up $1. Welcome to day trading. That's how you make a living doing this. One or two names. And right now we've got about 100 different names to choose from each day because we like space, rockets, robots, quantum, AI, rare earths, nuclear, silver. And then you throw in earnings reports and the Qs. And of course, when you have a scanner like I do, looking for high volume, crazy names, we also had this wonderful stock today, which was FlyX. Anybody know what FlyX is? Fly Exclusive Incorporated. I'm sure it's some sort of private jet company, or it's just some AI fake company from China that we don't know. And the bottom line is, who cares, right? You guys know about SidU, right? I've been talking about this now for 2 weeks. Dog shit fake company, but man, is it great to trade. This stock had 100-to-1 reverse split. Want to see the ugliest chart you'll ever see? And again, if you haven't witnessed what stocks have been the greatest stocks to trade 2025 going into 2026, dog shit like this. Look at this split adjusted high on SidU. It's kind of hilarious. So if you liked it at, oh, I thought it was even higher than that. I mean, I think it was actually. Wait a second. Oh, which is the one that has a $7 trillion valuation? I thought it was this one. Anyway, look at this. That's some awful looking chart, right? Oh, it's SMX, I think. SMX. Yeah, SMX. Oh, yeah, SMX. If you loved it at $56 trillion, you got to love it here at 3, Mr. Jones. That's a split adjusted price, by the way. It never was at 56 trillion. That's a real number. It's hilarious. But these are the trades that are fun to day trade because when they start to get squeezed, they rip. So for the last month, we've been trading this stock every single day, just like Open. You guys like Open? OPEN? You know the stock's going to zero, right? We all know it's going to zero. They don't do anything. The company serves no purpose, right? But man, is it fun to trade, because when it starts to rally, the shorts get scared, the stock moves, it cooperates around VWAP, and it's pretty good to trade. So we could officially say today was the launch of earnings season. Next week, we've got Delta Airlines, and then come the banks. And if you stay space, rockets, robots, quantum, and if you are familiar with some of my social media, please follow me on StockTwits. I see people taking credit for the degenerate economy. I coined that phrase about 10 years ago. The degenerate nature of the market. That's where we're at. accepting the fact that we're all degenerate gambling lunatics, but we're doing it with a purpose. I was the first one to coin that phrase. I see people trying to steal that from me. Everybody's into space, rockets, robots, quantum, and AI. I've been talking about that for 2.5 years now. Obviously, I've been talking about the silver trade since you met me. And I pride myself in being ahead of the curve. So, you guys know about the schmooze. I don't know if I'm going to be around tonight. I'm still not feeling 100%. But we're going to be selling the schmooze. And I don't think anyone's actually going to pay for it, to be honest. But I want to give it away. And your ticket to the schmooze will be promoting me on social media. So go on StockTwits and join StockTwits. Go on Twitter. I'm at Hit the Bid Radio. I'm on YouTube, obviously. So your admission fee would be a couple of posts saying, you're all Johnny come latelys. Kenny's been talking about these drone stocks for months and months and months. Quantum, I was talking about these 2.5 years ago. That's why I was hip to the rigatoni at 80 cents. And if you guys met me back in a couple of these other companies, what's up with that Carvana trade, huh? Right? As people were preparing you for the bear market, I was telling you that the bear market was over and now it's time to buy stocks. What was that? June 2021. And I told you Carvana might be my favorite idea of all time because the chart pattern was the elusive Dolly Parton Kardashian bottom Andy Dufresne, which you rarely see that chart pattern. I saw it on AMD. I saw it on Carvana. And the next time I see it, I'll let you know. And that's why that trade turned out to be what it was. I never thought it was going to go back to 450, but I did think it would go back to around, 180 to 250. Amazing what it did turn into. And that's where we're at, right? I mean, just waiting for the next earnings report, waiting for the next setup. And that's all you can do. Trading's boring. It's a lot of sitting around and waiting. But right now, you are getting paid to sit around and wait. Because a lot of these stocks, man, I mean, if you don't know what drone stock to pick, buy them all. So this one, I'm digging this Jedi that I own right here, JEDI. I own DRNZ, which is very interesting. It's drones, it's defense. Obviously, this NAVN that I've been buying the last couple of weeks. Did that just happen? That's a bad print. Did that just happen? Wait a minute. Crazy. That's not a real print. Somebody printed drones at $30.12. Fat finger. Somebody just fat fingered our stock. Don't sell it. But wait, let me rephrase that. If you're in from $22 and you want to take 5 points off the table, be my guest. I'm in. Because this is a fairly new ETF, and obviously we're onto something here. I'm going to have the COO of Rec Shares on the schmooze in a couple of weeks. As a matter of fact, I don't think he got back to me. Are we not friends anymore? I don't have a lot of friends. You guys know Bob Lang? I'll be doing a symposium with him in July. Talk about getting prepared. And we're talking about something in July 22nd. By the way, I'll let you know about this. July 22nd, you should be there for this thing. A lot of you guys know Bob Lang. Bob Lang, he coined the phrase FANG. He was the first one. So that's my story. Yeah. And we're going to just try to do, as best as we possibly could do every day, staying focused. And, the conversation about swing trading and investing and day trading, swing trading and investing, it's tough. It's tough to be all of that all at once, but we do it because, like this NAVN trade and like the drones and like some of the stocks that I own right now, most of them have started as a good day trade. The loser swing trader is generally a day trader that held on to a stock too long, didn't want to take the loss, and next thing you know, I guess I'm a swing trader now. And then the swing trade doesn't go right, and I guess I'm an investor now. And that's how it usually happens, right? The better trader realizes you got, by the way, MDLN. Remember this one? We swung it, worked out pretty well. And I think it's time to buy it back, right? We did very well with this IPO. Very, very surprised. This IPO, it was a 20 million share buy at the open. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Usually IPOs open up, you'll get some profit taking because the insiders and their rat holes are always selling it. This had a 20 million share buy, and we bought it right out of the gate, and you got about 10 points out of it. And now, got stopped out a couple of days ago at 42.50, and it went almost back to 37.50. Here's your little turn. Very interesting company. More importantly, the price action in this IPO was phenomenal. Almost as amazing as the Viking IPO. If you guys remember the Viking IPO when I told you guys to buy this stock, it's very rare to see only buying when an IPO comes out because people are looking to take the profit, especially, remember, the insiders are in at zero. They're dying to sell it, even though they're supposed to not to sell it. So they get their cousins to short it in an offshore account. You know the deal. You've seen Wolf of Wall Street, rat holes and all that. It's the truth. That's what happens. That's why you'll generally get some selling on the IPOs because they're cashing out. That's why most IPOs stink. But when the IPO comes back, it's real because that means they got the seller out of the way. And now you got yourself a good name. That's why I'm liking this NAVN. That's why I've been buying it steadily every day, a little bit. And normally I don't add to positions, but this one I am. That's so far so good. I bought more today, bought more yesterday. I'm going to buy more tomorrow. And like I told you, if NAVN, this thing gets above 22.50, normally I'd be cashing out. I'm buying more. Because if we're onto something here, and I think we are, and an IPO breaks its all-time high, 99.73.257% of the time, which is almost all the time, it goes higher. And, all we got to do is wait. And that's my story. So if you guys are around tomorrow afternoon, we're going to be doing a little dog and pony show. All the guys over at Stock Market TV, we're going to be talking about patterns we like and trades we like and all that stuff. We're doing that tomorrow evening. And then we're going to do a little bit more of it Saturday. I think the whole day Saturday. I think I'm going on around 1 o'clock. Go to the website. I think you just got to sign up for it and you'll get a link. And then you can't hear me, JB? Equally important is there's a trip we're going to Vegas. Good times. The one and only Jeff Hirsch will be joining us for dinner He'll bring his books. You could sign. You get some signed autographed Stock Traders Almanacs. And if you are coming to Vegas, let me know as soon as possible. I got room for a couple more people at the King's table. We'll be at Joe's Steak and Crab House on Monday night. Little smooze session at the symposium. 6 p.m. We'll meet at the Paris. Go take a look at the venue, and then we're gonna go to dinner. And then I'm going to sleep because it'll be like 3 a.m. for me. And then I'm doing a presentation Tuesday morning at 8:30. So get up. We'll symposium the shit out of that place. I'll put on the act that I've been waiting to do this for a while. It's going to be fun. Talk a little bit about VWAP. Talk about how, my career, blah, blah, blah. Probably go back and take a nap. And then I got another 12:30 thing that we're going to do in a private session. You're all invited. Don't have to pay for it. Even though they tell you have to pay for it, I'll sneak you in the back door. You don't got to pay for shit. I probably shouldn't tell people that. You don't got to pay. But if you are going to be in Vegas, let me know. We're going to get some Hit the Bid family reunion t-shirts. We're going to walk around, have a good time. And then we're going to be going to one of my 2 favorite places on earth at the Cosmo. There's this place called Ghost Donkey. If you like tequila, it's where you want to be. Tequila speakeasy. Get a couple of nachos. Have a couple of pregame. And then the real festivities will be at the barbershop. It's another speakeasy at the Cosmo. It looks like a barbershop on the outside. And they have a back door. It opens up to an arena, a stage, where they have live band karaoke, which could be my favorite thing to do on earth because I've always wanted to be a rock star. And you get in front of this, you get on stage with the band and you sing. And I got a table there. And we probably will not be going back to the symposium after that. And then Wednesday, we'll just maybe go play some golf or shoot some Uzis, hang out, have some fun. And I'm flying home on Thursday. But if you're interested, let me know. Tell me what size t-shirt you need. I'm going to print up some cool Hit the Bid VWAP t-shirts. And we'll have a gay old time. What? Wilma. All right. So I'm just sitting pretty right now. I'm just hanging out, just waiting to see what happens next. We did our trades. Now we're just hanging. I'll give you a couple of names also. People, if you don't own these ETFs, a couple of cheap drone stocks that I like to trade. UAVS has been pretty good. It's about to break back out. Obviously, you guys know UMAC, right? You guys all know about the V-Wave, right? Cashed out today, up around 1250. Pretty damn good trade. Tonight, you got earnings. And tomorrow we'll be trading Tilray, I'm sure, TLRY. They're reporting tonight. AEHR will be reporting tonight, so we'll be looking at that one. A couple of names for tomorrow. Tilray, guarantee you'll be trading that stock tomorrow. Hopefully we get the same kind of squeeze we got last time. You see it's already in play right there. It's hitting new highs, as a matter of fact, right now. And that's my story. I'm going to cut out. You guys have a great rest of the day. I'm going to go eat some breakfast. And I am accumulating this NAVN. I hope it works out for all of us. So far, so good. Guys started buying it. If you guys, especially if you're in from 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And, I like it. And suddenly I am I am in a bunch of swing trades. Normally I'm not the biggest swing trader, but I don't want to be left out of the party. Stocks are going up. I want to be involved. So Jedi, the drones, cashed out a V-Wave today, but obviously loving the Qs still. Got my NAVN, still got some SRAD. I bought a little. I'm just trying to fight my way through this garbage. The SRAD really has not been kind to me. I'm down $2. It is what it is. I was about to sell it and I didn't. Then I bought more. I just traded it poorly. Still got that. And obviously short UVXY. We've been shorting UVXY for the last 2 months. We're up 30 points on that trade. I'm not covering. I'm down to the last 200. I'm just going to hold the last 200 until it goes to zero. It's free money. Absolute free money. Oh, wait. And here's another piece of garbage IPO that I am stalking for 2025. So here it is. This one. Absolute trash. Absolute garbage. But if it does start to come back, again, this was the Winklevoss brothers, who should be embarrassed and excommunicated from the industry for dumping this piece of shit onto everybody. Absolute trash. Even when they had good news about getting into the prediction markets, the stock gave back the entire gain. It is absolute dog shit. But if it can consolidate down here, Andy Dufresne, Kardashian bottom, I still got this one on my list for a possible comeback this year. But just trash. Obviously, Sid Yu, I don't own that one, but it's just an amazing market. Opportunity abound. And if y'all are struggling, stick around with us, because we're doing pretty well. Not every trade's going to work, obviously, but staying focused on these earnings reports has been a godsend, if you believe. And then, of course, stocks like FlyX, coming off the scanner this morning. Never heard of this thing in my life. Had a pretty good trade in it. And that's it. And if you guys also, you know what I've been trading lately that I haven't traded in years? MSTR. I didn't trade it today. Missed out on the 1-minute multi-day VWAP reversal. Guys, I know you all love this stock. Finally trying to wake up, out of that 150 zone. All right. Stop in later. I don't know if I'm going to be around tonight, but definitely be here tomorrow. And there goes my other stock, which I don't own. I was swinging SMR. Big fan. Big fan. Big fan of the nuclear stocks. Big fan. Big fan of this little faux show bro that it did. We've been trading it since the break back above here. And looking for that to retrace back to that 22 area. So just a lot of good trades going on, really. All right. Good luck. Thanks for hanging out. And I'll see you probably at 3 o'clock. Have a great rest of your afternoon.